Hi, my name is Greg, and I would love to be your counselor.
Hey, Greg, thanks for hanging out with me. We're going to shoot this video for your profile page, which I'm excited about so that people can get to know you like I've had the opportunity to get to know you. So I've got a surprise for you that I didn't prep you for, but I've got some reviews here from some of your clients that I want to read
Oh,
off.
okay.
And so get to have a moment of, let you take in and maybe feel on the spot as I read off the words of some of your clients. But Madeline says, Greg was a wonderful counselor to work with. My husband and I both felt comfortable with him, which was a blessing since signing up for counseling was a big step for us. It was clear in every conversation that Greg's approach was informed by science and research, but kept God at the center. And that's exactly what we were looking for. Our marriage is stronger than ever. Even the areas we weren't directly focusing on in therapy saw growth as a byproduct, and we feel equipped to continue growing on our own. Then Jeremy says, Greg is the best. Greg was thoughtful and he understood our needs. He gently pushed when necessary to help us discover where and how we needed to grow or adapt. He has a great sense of humor and really understands how to help couples navigate difficult relational terrain. Greg, your clients love working with you. I'm curious, what brings you the most joy in working with them?
Yeah, for me, it's just the courage and the bravery that they show when they show up to do the work, because it's a very vulnerable thing, right? So when they step forward into that space with that courage, and to be part of seeing healing happen. Healing happens when you shine light into dark places. So like being a part of that and walking with them in that, it's so humbling to me that they would choose to allow me to step into that space with them. So yeah, just seeing their courage. Yeah.
There's something super special about that, right? Like we get to meet with people often when they're facing some hard stuff. And you generally don't sign up to meet with a counselor because you're in a mountaintop place and everything is good and great. And you just wanted to share that with somebody. And so you decided to start counseling. Typically there's some sort of struggle or challenge that you're facing. And you maybe feel like you're at your worst or in a dark place. But we see really the best in people come out of that space because it takes so much courage and so much growth orientedness to step into that space. Like it doesn't feel like it as a client, but we get to witness something really special. Yeah. I love it. I'm curious, can you share just a little bit about your calling into this work? Like God knew that he wanted to use you in his kingdom in this capacity, long before we did. But how did he onboard you to the idea that this is how he wanted to use you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's an interesting story because it's kind of like I stumbled into it, like just because I was desperate for a job right out of college, right? So, when I was first out of college, I had the opportunity to work in case management at a rescue mission with individuals experiencing homelessness and addiction. And God just like flipped a switch in me. Like I fell in love with instilling hope and meeting people when they were at their most vulnerable, darkest place, bankrupt for relationships and for hope and for where to go next. And just being able to see God transform lives in that. I just fell in love with it, Josh. And I've been doing it ever since. God's given me opportunities to grow in that. And now, to do it here with MCO and just walk with individuals as God transforms their lives. It's an incredible opportunity.
I love hearing the stories of how God orchestrates things and how he uses the experiences of our life and what at times feel rather random, or maybe not, we didn't have a plan, but clearly we can look back and see God had a plan. And it's just fun to get to feel the peace that comes with God's sovereignty and leading us in that journey. and knowing that we're right where we're supposed to be, doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing, and that's true for our clients too, right? Like God has led them to the place where they're sitting with us, and He has purpose for the work He's wanting to do in them through that time, and we can trust that providence. It's there's a lot of peace in that.
Absolutely.
Around here, we believe in practicing what we preach, right? So all of us engage in our own therapeutic work. And I'm curious, what has your personal growth journey meant to you? Like, as you've done your own work, how has it shaped your life?
Oh yeah, it's been huge, Josh. It's really unlocked this level of vulnerability in me that's really helped me connect deeper in relationships in my life and really go to places that I wouldn't be comfortable going on my own, right? God didn't create us to walk through life alone. So just me engaging in that space and doing that work has helped me really understand my own emotions so that I can connect with the people God gives me the opportunity to sit with. And be able to really have empathy and compassion and walk with them in those seasons. I don't think it'd be possible if I didn't walk that journey myself.
Yeah, we talk about all the time in-house internally that you can't lead others where you haven't been willing to go on your own, and you can't give what you don't have. And so this person of the therapist, the growth process that we lean into in our own, not only has an impact in our own relationships and marriage and family and such, but it's absolutely necessary to the work that we do. I always encourage folks, you shouldn't get therapy from a therapist that hasn't done their own therapy. It makes a big difference. So
yeah, absolutely.
We get to have a front row seat to the work that God does in people's lives day in and day out. And would love to just have you share, one of your favorite miracles that you've had an opportunity to witness in a client's life and you're working with them.
Yeah, I love that question. It's a little hard to answer because there's so many, but right, narrowing it down to some of the things that really stand out for me, I think would just be restored marriages. I'm thinking of one couple, Josh, that there was an affair that went on for years and years and years, right? And to walk with them through healing those betrayal wounds, establishing trust, creating safety, and to see them have a stronger marriage than they ever would have dreamed they could have before after walking through such a dark season is just incredible. Right. I think restoration and reconciliation is always possible. God reconciled us to himself through Christ. So just being able to watch that happen in marriage, which is a picture of the gospel, is just always a miracle. I love it.
Yeah.
Every time.
And it's, no matter how many times we witness it, it's awe-inspiring each time, right? Like it's like watching a dead person come back to life. Yes. I don't know that ever gets old. And seeing what doesn't make sense. Like when people have been through that kind of trauma and darkness and just really, really hard things, there's a sense of hopelessness, like scorched earth, burnt to ground ashes. Like I think of the, Ezekiel and God saying, can these bones live again?
Yeah.
And in the natural, you're looking at it, and you're like, no way. Like there's no way. But he says, watch this. Watch what I want to do here, and breathes life into something that is dead, and he brings beauty out of ashes and flips upside down the thing that the enemy wanted to use to destroy us, and instead uses it to bless us in ways that are incredible. That's why we do what we do, isn't it?
It is so true. Yeah. And to see that switch flip, because when they come in, they don't believe sometimes that that's possible. And then on the other side of that, for them to experience it is so powerful.
Yeah. People often will, say, I don't know how you can sit with all these hard, broken things all day long. And, and I'm sure people say the same thing to you and they're like, oh man, I don't think I could do that. And if all it was what early stage work is, folks come in and they're broken and they're hopeless and it's dark. If that's all that it was, then none of us could. We'd all burn out pretty fast. But what people don't realize is, yeah, that's where it starts, but that's not where the story ends. And there's something so rich and enriching seeing what God does in the journey. Like that's what enables us to keep going, because we have hope in the midst of those dark moments, because we know what the Lord wants to do and what he's going to do. Yeah. It's super cool. So we're shooting this video for your profile page to help, people who are, thinking about getting counseling and are trying to find who they feel like maybe it'd be the right fit for them, and they're feeling that nudge from the Spirit to kind of step into this work. But it's hard, right? We can it's scary, and for your future client who's watching this and is maybe nervous about that first session, nervous about getting started in this journey, what would you want them to know?
Yeah, just to normalize, like you said, it is hard and it is scary, right? But yeah, just to know that it's a safe place, right? Mm-hmm. It's a safe place to get curious about what your experience, to feel compassion, to not feel judged, right? It's not a place for shame. It's a place to just turn and look at really hard things and shine light into those places so that healing can happen. So the nerves is normal. Josh, I was nervous the first time I stepped into counseling. So that makes so much sense. But just the power that vulnerability unlocks in your life, right? And taking that first step to enter into that space is life-changing. So
Well, I'm excited for the person watching this to step into that and experience what so many have as they've taken that step of faith and God has met them in that space and they've seen the miracle that they've needed in their situation happen. So thanks for being with me today, Greg, and thanks for being a part of this team.
Yeah.